I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. This vlog is probably going to be full of spoilers, so I'm going to have to remember to put that in the title. Hi everyone, Steph here. Welcome to the Novelty Corner and welcome to a reading vlog, which, to be honest, this reading vlog is going to be a little bit different than the reading vlog that I initially had planned to go up this week because just of life. And also I'm really excited because I received an early copy of Juliette Cross's Always Practice Safe Hex, which is the 4th book in her Stay Spell series, and I'm so excited. So I've decided to dedicate a reading vlog just to this one book because I cannot even put into words how excited I am about this book. So we're going to be reading that, so it's probably only going to be like less than a 24-hour reading vlog. I am going to try and read the novella that precedes this particular story in Walking in a Witchy Wonderland, which was the anthology that came out last year. So I'll read that plus Always Practice Safe Hex, and I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna have a really chill day because I'm not feeling 100%. So I feel fine. I just sound terrible at the moment, which makes me think it's more cold than anything else. So I'm about to film. I have one video to film this weekend aside from this vlog, which is nice because I've actually pre-filmed most of my content videos, at least one video for every week for the rest of May. And then I'll only have my books beside my bed videos and some vlogs. And I can't believe I'm organized like this. We'll see how long it takes to totally topple that organization. I'm going to get started. I'm going to do my books beside my bed video, then do a bit of tidying and some washing, and then jump straight into reading. So I will check in with you guys soon. I've done a few of my errands, so I'm going to start reading You're a Mean One, Mr. Grimm, which is the little prequel novella to the story that I'm going to read later. So I'm going to read that, then I'm going to do a couple more chores, and then I'm going to sit down and read Always Practice Safe Hex. That was so much better than I remember it being, just because I wrote it so long ago. So we find out that Livvy and Gareth, so Livvy is one of the Savoie sisters. She is a, oh my god, what is she? She's an influencer. So her magic allows her to influence people's decisions. Well, she's entered a competition for a marketing company or PR company, and she is one of the finalists, and she's in the finalist group with Gareth Blackwater, who is one of the Grimms. And the two just have this snarky banter the whole way through. And Gareth gets off on being in control, and he tells her, and nothing happens in the novella or the short story, but I just know that this novel is going to be hot. So I should do some jobs. I've got to, actually I'm going to edit my video. I've got to do a little bit more laundry, and then we're going to pick up the book. I don't know why I'm delaying myself, honestly. This is just ridiculous, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I shared on Instagram that I'd reread You're a Mean One, Mr. Grimm, and Julia let me know that the 4th chapter in the short story is the 1st chapter, or the prologue, in Always Practice Safe Hex. So I just read it and loved it because this time it's from Livvy's perspective instead of Gareth's. Oh boy. Okay. And I kept reading. I forgot to stop, mostly because I was charging the camera battery, and I'm now up to chapter 3. And so you have Gareth and Livvy and Willard, who are the 3 people now vying for this competition, and they've just had to decide on a cause that they're going to back. And they've obviously just agreed on Gareth's one, which is around putting into place support for supernatural children who need to be adopted. And I'm loving their interactions. I've just read a scene where Gareth has taken Henry, his cousin, I think, out to the Cauldron, which is the bar owned by the Savoie sisters. It's just so funny because Clara comes over to the table, and we, you know, from the first book we know that Henry has been watching Clara, and we also know there's something going on with Henry. Anyway, Gareth is enjoying teasing the heck out of Gareth. Gareth is enjoying teasing the heck out of Henry, and you know, even goes out of his way to try and set the two of them up with an opportunity to spend time together. And Henry blows it, which poor Clara. I can't wait for their book. their book is going to be amazing. So hopefully they have more interactions. Gareth has a three-legged Maltese called Queenie. I feel like that is a very relevant thing to know about Gareth at this point in time. I love that so far Livvy has spoken to Clara, her sister, and Kaya, her best friend, and they've both given her exactly the same advice in that she likes to, or she prefers to go after people who she can dominate in a relationship, and that maybe she can't get Gareth out of her head because she can't dominate him, because he won't let her. Also, I do want to point out at this point in time that in the office where they're all working at the moment for this competition, there is one of the marketing directors, anyway, one of the three partners of the company who has hired them all for this challenge, who is clearly targeting Livvy, and Gareth can't stand it and believes that he has a monster inside of him, and he's warned Livvy of him multiple times, and anytime he comes into the room and has anything to do with Livvy, Gareth just gets so in this guy's face. I know that there is the thread of sexual harassment in the workplace in this story. I know that it doesn't go past that, I don't think, but it is in there. So if you're sensitive to that, be aware of it. But I did like a scene that was just in a previous chapter where Livvy turned around to him and just said, "I don't like it when people touch me without my permission, so you need to stop doing it." So even though Gareth is insanely protective of her, she is also not afraid to stand up for herself. So I think it's going to get a little bit, I know that this is not the end of that thread in the story, and that this guy's probably going to be the antagonist for the story, but yeah, just a heads up now. Okay, I just got to another one of the sexual harassment scenes and it was very uncomfortable. I mean, I've never been in a situation like that myself, but it's one of those situations that as a woman, like, I know that that is the reality and it really sucks. And I know it's not just women who are affected by sexual harassment. It's one of those things where you never want to be cornered somewhere on your own by someone else. So yeah, be very aware of that going into the story. I just have to stop and say that Willard, who I think I've mentioned in this vlog, but I haven't really talked about who he is. So he's the third person who is part of this competition. And he's very much just a very, you know, straight talking, to the point, doesn't give much away sort of character. And so we've just had the scene where Gareth has walked in on Livvy being sexually harassed, not by Willard. And, you know, he's come in and the scene is awkward for him because he's like, he doesn't know what's going on. He is not an alpha character. He's just a supernatural guy. I think he's a warlock. I can't remember. But, you know, Gareth says jump and Willard's like, okay. And I'm just like, Willard, he's kind of endearing in a we don't really know that much about him kind of way, but I hope he doesn't get caught in the crossfire of anything that's going on in this story. Poor guy. I'm just eating leftover buttered chicken with some naan and catching up on Tiff's most recent vlog. Yep, nothing fancy. We'll probably need to find something green a little bit later on, but you know, I just wanted to reheat something. Figured I should probably wrap up Mum's Mother's Day present before tomorrow. So that's her card, which I wanted to do the little pop-up thing so it doesn't go in an envelope, but it will just sit here on top. It's perfume, and she picked it out because I always let Mum pick her Mother's Day gifts so she gets exactly what she wants. So I have eaten, showered, done the dishes, and I am 65% of the way through Always Practice Safe Hex, so it's time to finish this thing. Also, can I just say that I love that all of the guys from this series currently have a game night. I haven't got that far into this scene, but I'm really glad that it's happening. They're playing a Dungeons and Dragons style game and I love it. So Livvy invited Gareth to Sunday dinner, which is the family dinner they will do at the Cauldron with everyone and their partners and the people who work at the Cauldron who are there, sort of, you know, their found family. And it's just so beautiful because Gareth hasn't, like, he's got a very small family, and he spent a lot of time in foster care, so and then he reconnected with some of his blood relatives much later in life. But like now he's seen part of her family, and like they just accept him and it's no big deal. And I think he says something to her as they're walking out that, you know, she's asking about whether or not he enjoyed himself and had a good time. And he said it's like a fairy tale. And it's just so sweet. It's kind of sweet because Gareth let his inner monster out, which is all I'm going to say on the issue, because you need to read the book and figure out what's going on with Gareth. And yeah, afterwards he is terrified that Livvy is going to leave him, and she's just like, nah, that's fine, we might wait a month and then you can let him out again, but you know, I agree to all of this and I'm fine. And he's just like, who are you? What is wrong with you? I love these two. So I've just finished Always Practice Safe Hex and I freaking loved it. Like, words. I adored this and it's my favorite in the series so far. Gareth and Livvy are my favorite, and not surprising that I love a character who's got a bit of a monster in them. So, I mean, were we surprised by this at all? But I'm loving the setup for Ruben and Jules and Clara and Henry that we get in this book as well, and just seeing them and finally finding out, you know, exactly what Gareth can do, and we even find out what Henry can do. Henry, the Grimms are my favorite. They really are. Anyway, I'm not going to wrap this vlog up just yet. I think I'm going to do a book journal page and add it into this vlog, and then I'll wrap it up. Oh, so good. Alright, so I am done with the journaling page. So that's all done, and you'll have seen the footage for it, and now I am going to wrap up this vlog and just say that, first of all, thank you very much to Juliette Cross for sending it to me for review, because I freaking loved this book, and the more that I sit with it and think about it, the more I love it. And I just want to read it again, even though I have a billion other things that I have to read. So fully expect that when this releases at the end of the month, that I will probably be rereading it. These books just keep getting better and better, and it's just fun. And this one felt like the darkest one. I like that. I like my characters who have a bit of a monster in them, because I find them just so interesting, and the decisions that they make and the choices that they make and the reasons why they do the things that they do. And I can't remember if I said this earlier, so there is the content warning for sexual harassment. There is also a content warning for abuse of a minor in foster care, not from the adults, but from the other children. So I will content warning everything down below. But I'm so ready to read the rest of the books in the series. And I think it's a very easy paranormal series to get into, because it is set mostly as in like a contemporary setting. It's set in New Orleans in current day. There's tech, there's a lot of references to modern social media without it feeling dated, and yeah, the paranormal elements are just woven over the top of that, which, to be honest, is my favorite kind of way to read a paranormal romance anyway. So I'm very, very happy today after reading this. Like, it's totally made my entire weekend. But yes, I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye everyone.